the mighty be humble. Justice is blindsided. Silence!
Overruled! How inconsiderate. This is where you fall. Transfixed! Let my magic begin! Did I scare you? A gift I can still try. What greater pleasure is there than the unexpected?
So, I think
They seem to be pretty...
let's go in.
Just be careful.
Overruled. Settle down. The tides beckon.
Floor here isn't safe.
Silence!
This place has also been contaminated.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontanian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous, and it won't be any help for you to just stay here. Don't get by my wrong. We're not...
No, you're right. That complicates things. Maybe the...
In that case, do you...
the water... I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
All right. Come with us for now, then, but... Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
Wait, there's something wrong with this brick.
Demoiselle?
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if I hadn't...
Maybe she just wants some time to herself.
Yes, it would appear...
That's quite possible. However, you were the one that suggested we go...
Oh, right. It must have slipped. This is a familiar feeling, yet...
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. I was just trying to recall why we...
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with foreign merchants who had it...
We were headed to see how things were going with him at the moment.
Ah, right.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those They were knocking at my door day and night. Even my neighbor, Obina, was getting fed up.
Sometimes force is required to calm someone down and get them to listen.
That's right.
Oh, yes. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. They're very... I don't know what we would have done without your help.
Ah, did you call...
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants.
Very well.
Wait. Excuse me, madam. If I'm not mistaken, your name...
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed familiar to me. I must have heard it when I was discussing things with your... I've heard this name before. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, Demoiselle. We still have important things.
Huh? We do?
Well, now, did you
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been
My trial? Wait, well...
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just about time now, so...
Oh?
Look, it's Navia!
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Where? And as for the judge...
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I...
All right.
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on, do they have...
Enough with the whispering!
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? In that case, as all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rasula. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. If anyone in need reached out to not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rasula fought...
Wait a moment. Aren't you just...
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand accused. We are one big family, all of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here. You will be together with us.
Huh? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a...
Ah, well, if that's what you think...
How wonderful, Miss...
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember...
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She...
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but nothing of her utterly
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed, even the death of Master Callus
Her actions cannot serve as proof that Please do not mistake her.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontanians here. Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact everything is... Now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay.
And you would call this justice? Have you forgotten how much you all...
Do you mean...
If your justice is flawed, then why should...
As you said, we can also have our own justice. And that...
Demoiselle!
Silver, it hurt. I remember now. Everything that seemed Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt.
Absurd! Who are you to say that? Don't let them escape! We shall keep Navia here with us!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to... After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
He says we're jealous. Jealous! How could she possibly be?
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss... not... Silence!
That's... Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day.
Our thanks, monsieur.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only...
Loose.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that...
Malus... Silver...
Quickly, you must...
Goodbye.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all this happen?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. What you were just about to be dissolved with... I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second. But they gave... Were it not for their intervention...
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean...
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you saw in your...
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neuvillette, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so stiff, Olive? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's...
I merely thought that we should give Navia some...
Huh?
Ah, Sigewinne.
No way, don't worry.
I see. Well, that is good.
Oh, and the Duke...
Thank you.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. Let's chat about something else then. Neuvillette! This isn't good.
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate. Amid my astonishment...
Yeah, we...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Transfixed.
Oh no, another unstable path. Watch your step. Watch out! There are rocks falling over here! Seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
Witness my rise. Overruled. Try not to enjoy this too much. Don't get frostbite. Cool it.
Silence! The tides beckon. An oversight on my part.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates. It seems like they were...
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should...
The surrounding walls.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this... what is this? Some kind of island?
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon...
And is that her...
The fourth image. I know this one.
The people will all be dissolved. More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it. Most likely due to us missing the...
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just look. This says that it's the history of the future, right?
I really hope it...
Still, Paimon feels like these images are...
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does... The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island and...
Did she herself commit that sin? And also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging...
But who would have created these slates and left these words?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from...
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head...
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here.
You still have...
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work, Traveler. I will go... I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my...
Are you really gonna talk?
She has long been...
Alright.
I will be careful.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house up... All right.
We're finally back!
Welcome back.
Yay! And there's good food! Paimon's already starting to...
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think...
Huh?
It's you two.
Mona?
Seriously?
Still, we didn't
Well, I have some... Why did you think I... Well, I used to have my own. There was nothing for it. Nope. Although it is used by...
Wow!
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well. Astromancer.
Whoa!
My name means...
Thrice as great?
I know, right?
Talk about it.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so...
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontaine.
Well, I was born...
Oh, that's a good thing.
There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. The invitation was sent quite a...
What do you make of that?
What I can tell you, I'm afraid that... But on the flip side...
A visionary?
Of course. The old hag could do it.
Huh?
Hmm...
Thanks, Mona.
Oh, well...
That's the greatest of...
Indeed, indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are. Right, but we were able to recruit... Good morning. To be honest, I'm still feeling kind of... But it's time to get up, Trav.
Gotta keep up with the changing times.
You're here! Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Fer...
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem... It is not my intent. Look at this.
You mean...
We did not arrive in time to avert this. I will say this once more. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near...
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know, but you found them in some...
That's correct. Which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other...
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts...
I don't. I've never...
I'll ask you again. My deciphering of the...
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange? I understand your concerns, but... I'm sorry.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina. But I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in its... You have never been as superficial as...
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, your Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. The opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was...
I assume you've been outside.
Oh! You noticed! Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and still I do not understand. Dire... Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her. But who will...
Well, speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in...
And here you are, drinking...
That's what family should...
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for...
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about...
Me?
Then, how about you?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become...
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things.
That was a little long-winded, don't you
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the... As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be...
Oh?
Well, it's...
Huh?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good...
I see.
He is glad that you...
In that case, do any of you have experience?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were...
I'm afraid not, though that was their name. Today, fought a trap comprised... So...
For me, our line of work...
You use some of those techniques while moving...
Yes, and
I'm afraid I can't claim that as...
And I can be...
With discretion.
I remember that...
I did.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I feel...
That makes sense. But I do have one more question. If we were to create a trap... If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes...
Wait.
Only a hunter who...
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them... But we shall require much more courage.
Oh...
few days. Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks. It's hard to say. After all, you're the most reliable did you just force it? Paimon's never seen that.
Don't be frightened. Aw.
Wait.
You're feeling lost. Consider me a passerby. Just the prophecy.
What?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. So just as prophecies are usually are the things that you shall...
What is...
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant. Ultimately, fate shall this...
The voice. Hey, it's you who's getting...
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
Fine, just not all Fontanians are pest...
Did she have...
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I assume you've heard of her, no? That daredevil. I'm in full support.
That's right! Paimon's glad...
Ah, yes. About... Huh? Goodness gracious.
She said that even
the Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary, but I've never met.
Whoa.
Their abilities are...
Well, it's not like
Yes, she was. Perhaps it is... Traveler? Paimon?
Oh, we're...
I see. I guess you could consider me someone who has all... But even so, perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. I did originally...
Huh. You do have a point.
There, it was worth trying to come, I suppose.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by. My recent attempt thus did an Outlander friend become the focus. So while the fourth journalist Charlotte's... Charlotte took so many... She hasn't been able to get a hold of any... Seriously? Well... Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time!
1 slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after... Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonian.
Oh, are you here to buy cake, too?
Wait, did you...
That's right.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily...
Then what if someone told...
But why would it...
Well...
Oh, the prof... No, it's...
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have... These 2 slices are for you.
Oh, you know Siege...
I sure do. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily. Yes, I've got something else to do, so I'll...
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. It's more delicious. Sure would be nice if we could always eat
Utensils at the ready.
Let's finish this quickly.
Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon!
Ha! You've got some nerve.
Oh, you needn't. It's all right, though.
Really?
You're a...
Oh, Paimon.
Still, what brings you...
A friend of ours met you.
Ah, so you... So she mentioned me?
She said that you're a... Huh? So...
Oh, of course it doesn't.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh. And that...
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! Ooh, so much to get...
Wait, Charlotte. Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that? If you're serious, from what I've seen, so in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping it. Just think about it. If this nation... And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that... I'm not a dreamer, nor... But anyway...
That's... so not... Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty... Paimon's been thinking... If it wasn't fun... No, We've always been moving to the next... You mean... Still trapped? Huh. Feels like it'll grow, but it's still better.
Ah, so the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais...
Yes, I'm Isadora. Not at all. Yes, and...
Alright!
Well, that Lady Farina loudly accused... And before she could the crowd continued to grow.
So people have...
I agree.
So what happened after that?
Seeing that the Marechaussee
So, you...
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search for her. But we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think they're good.
Don't worry. This...
Is that so?
Well, alright then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Farina, and as we also know, when Nervalet was talking, it would be hard for her to... Paimon thinks for... Huh! Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can... In that case, there's... This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. Huh, that's Farina, right over there.
What was meant to happen did happen after all. I'm sorry. I'm so... Give up, Farina. I'm sorry. But what can I even do? Other than to repeat meaningless apology. Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina. It's just... Farina.
What do you mean, tear stain? Who did that uncivil? They even dared. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from...
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabbit... That's against the rules.
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up! This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before...
What? What is...
Hurry, they're almost here!
Fine, fine. I suppose haste is...
Paimon's exhausted.
No, I mean, I'm near...
Yep, that's...
What's happening? The ground...
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happened...
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should...
Yeah.
I hope, but the people of Poisson... It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues, and I've tried but all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will give up. Indeed, I've thought about giving up so many times. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart, but just now, it all became clear to me. As long as the final moment hasn't come, don't worry. I will keep... Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial...
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right... A witness. Yes, I've heard that you came to and if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If...
Ladies and gentlemen, this now without...
So, this is what it is. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the
May I interpret these words as your in that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor.
You would draw your blade? I see. It seems like you have made up...
Paimon can't believe it. She...
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a...
Wow. How utter...
Lady Farina, what is that?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding.
Looking for excuses again?
I raised my hands just now to indicate I will admit that I've been running away. I'm sorry, everyone. You are not... But now, I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world this time. Applaud and rejoice. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Font.
Woohoo! Oh, no. Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Also, even though she's still acting...
All right, then. Who?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that... Also, please, just how much
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the top.
Navia.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbances, they changed into the people's resentment, and moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, When something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean... the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontanian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
then I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation when you'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived on Oh? It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte! Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine! So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument! Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, alright? The words of someone as extreme.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervilette. There's no legalese. Just fast forward, of course. It is only natural for humans to...
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your... Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud, who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking her duty, but did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge? Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the God of Justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
Huh. An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Furina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
That doesn't... First of all, you...
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave?
A curse. But in light of this claim...
Neverlet sensed it too, huh?
Lady Furina... Well, it is...
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans can. For centuries, manifestation, one need only to turn their eyes towards...
You tried to reference the...
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to...
Lady Furina, I believe a reminder of your current... While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Arch, you will prove yourself unable to...
I never thought...
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Furina. I've
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro...
The real Hydro Archon. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict, but the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. You can't...
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses.
My power...
If that poses a
you don't...
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archon... Thus did I...
Isn't that...
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can...
It seems like nobody's buying Furina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone! I'm still the same Furina you knew, right? Please?
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? It all of our parents and grandparents too? And it all...
Enough! That's enough. Tell me then, if you have no evidence...
Wow, she came up with yet another It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water.
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right—
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary...
super sorry. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson, including those of— So, Miss Farina, would you dare to if we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, but if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the— Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more— I do hope you'll act prudently, and—
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us.
Lady Farina, this...
Well, of course he had to tell her.
She's just staring.
What's going on?
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina...
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, will you believe—
Miss Siegeween?
Siegeween?
Don't be nervous. It'll...
Please announce the results of your evaluation.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. She was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected, it—
Thank you, Miss Siegeween. Lady Farina.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved.
Well, considering your tendency to— However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged— We don't want anyone else to—
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could—
I can't believe... Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me such cold and disdainful look. Think about it. How can you conclusively prove that an Archon— Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to— Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for—
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone who's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also...
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: to be punished via the...
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought...
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice?
Furina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the...
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, is this sentence really appropriate for the crime?
Yeah! Even Vache wasn't sentenced to death!
Indeed. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon.
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still...
Fremine! You finally made it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the... So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. But has the trial already concluded?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to... Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other...
Huh? So what do you see?
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real...
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to... However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the content... Stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn in... Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But this must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians... The third slate shows the Hydro Archon seeking into the sea. That reminds Paimon, didn't we? Well, the fourth slate is the We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen.
We know from the case of the this.
That doesn't sound quite right.
Perhaps what is about to take the true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervilette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celeste.
That doesn't sound...
not as simple as fall. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was the stone. The prophecy from the stone slates, the fort. If we hadn't dealt with it in time.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the stone slate's content can... Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now, but...
Let's hear them.
Incredible.
We're...
All Fontanians were original. The evidence for that could... Oh, and according to Navia...
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that could also explain why the Oratries judged the Hydro...
The Hydro Archon's true sin?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to...
Yeah! Isn't the... So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling? In the end, the people will... Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must... However, while you were able to decode all the information when we were at the ruin, now that the slate collection is complete... I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and in the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro. However, even though not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating... But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with... Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the...
That's way too much information for me. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be...
This really might be too much information.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slate, a key point of the visual, they have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well. You may also recall not... Therefore, that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes, it refers...
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold.
What should we do? If that's the case...
Traveler, I would like to point out another about the fourth slate. However, as for the root cause of the catastrophe... This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come.
That doesn't sound quite right. That doesn't sound quite right. Let's think about this. That doesn't sound quite right. Let's think think about this some more.
It was both dream and reality.
If we're talking about a true culprit...
The truth, the original sin, the truth.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the... And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels...
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the Primordial Sea, it decided to make its next...
We just barely managed to push it back.
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the Primordial Sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Just as ultimate.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just...
You are not Farina.
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question...
Fusalo.
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else, too. If I was to stand any the heavenly principle.
Deceiving the heaven...
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria, for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained... She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come... And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I had to outwit the heavenly principles. Allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least. While I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by each...
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my after becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, she could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive that... Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon... In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a I suppose now you probably understand why you're-
But Farina is only human. Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure.
It has indeed. And although it's been 500 and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto this stage? All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need. I am Dear... Technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Transfixed. Everlasting as the moon. Overruled.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards! Incoming.
Silence!
Laid bare.
Cut to the chase.
Settle down!
Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid.
Wait a moment. You're... Mirror me? Mirror me.
The prophecy.
What prophecy? The people will...
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it. The Maison. What should I say to most... I'm sure you've all heard about... In truth, I know little about becoming an... As the god Focalor. Once again, this... I thought I might stammer.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. Right. Calm down, Farina. Assertive. Now, I was wondering if some weak... what you may consider... Now then!
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, we have heard it said that this nation sins. The scales of may law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they... There is no... So long as I...
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now. Was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to... Besides...
If...
A magan...
That's true,
No need for fright. And do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Lady Farina.
No need to All right.
You remember? He's...
Lady Farina.
I see. It's as I thought that all manner of... Really?
I'm...
The day is finally... But it's good to see maybe this is fine.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports.
They'll be...
Lady Farina.
Indeed, my...
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant...
Understood. I feel utterly...
Farina, I've heard that the first... Oh, are you crying?
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god. So, in hundreds, I never imagined have I reached my limit. I want to tell I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries. All I can do is keep heart.
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share. That's impossible.
But even if your just share it with
a witness. And if to that... She's right. But if things... No, Farina. But what if, Farina, is it such if you let this think about it long and hard? No, all you need to do, dear spectator, is...
Fine.
So even Farina...
Yes, she did very well. If she had let her... It seems that trusting
I believe that... How would you build on...
Ah, good, good. Of course the Eudex of Fontaine has... I'm sure you've lost...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a It now seems that that person was you. Hidden within the machine all along.
And then I became one with the oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes. Alas, your understanding of this device still... In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the oratories take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne. I mean... Did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium with... But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was... The vast majority had to be accumulated.
It was all part of your plan then?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro...
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad. The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very...
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Hydro Dragon. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea. And I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be— Speaking of justice, I have always believed that so, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontanians as humans and their right to exist in this world— In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justifying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that at this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontanians, Iudex Nervillet, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that at last. I now understand. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding. You are a devious one, Focalor. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervillet. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
I, Iudex Nervillet, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But...
It's time to end this. I have gained this. We should seize the opportunity to Traveler. Now that the oratory, the root of the calamities, come with me, Traveler. The hour. Done my best to separate the power of the primordials away. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together. Sorrow turning into hostility. The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself. Manifest the authority of the ancient dragons. Witness them. I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within. Bow yourself.
Attack the frosting! Goose on the loose! Don't blink! With sword comes shadow. Incoming! Hey!
Witness my rise. Laid bare.
Settle down. Let the mighty be humble.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It was just supposed to be... Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen.
That power.
It's just that he is the...
I simply didn't. So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. That kind of power is... All in all... The point...
Well, so what sort of...
Oh, right. His name is Sertologi.
I am
Huh. So Master is insufficiently famous.
The foul.
Still not...
Ooh, that will...
Oh. But I suppose you
Wait!
actually never that they all devour such roiling as such. In other words.
What?
Not to worry.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Hey! Help! Over here!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry! Hey, lend a hand! Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong!
Are you alright?
Yeah.
We're safe.
The prophecy was wrong.
The soil renewed. The Suite Rasula attacks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of Old Soil Skyship Wing. The various disputes people always call. Wow, Paimon barely recognizes the people in the.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big scoop Edwin's assistant, Jurier
Paimon's curious.
And that's exactly why.
Are you
Oh, this time.
Fine, if you can't afford it, then just give me the photo back.
Do we have anyone doing maintenance on this, statue?
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties. Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it.
that things have a pinch of salt. A dash of...
Huh? You two aren't talking about a new
Not dessert. No, we're talking about... Oh, there's no root. The same logic I once heard Miss...
Wow, the two of them's Paimon's struggling to...
Well, well, what do we have here? Oh, how exciting! When it's ready...
Is it just Paimon?
Why shouldn't they? It's like... After all, if there's ever a time to...
Pile on the sugar. And why are we piling on the sugar?
Lepine, Pauline, you're here! Is it ready?
Of course! It all went according to plan.
Huh? Were you off on some kind of important task?
I was indeed. Please accept this.
Since the film Fantasyland has been such a success, we decided to create a unique souvenir to remember it by. We built this park.
To be fair, it was... That's right! And on top of that, Traveler, I'm offering... You get to add... cream flavored.
All right, then. Great. Everything's all in order.
This guy in Natland. Oh, what happened now?
Did you hear what happened with the sky in Natland?
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Mero's water.
We have put in much work of late. If you ever have it.
This is where you
Cut to the chase. A burst of flavor.
transfixed, everlasting as the moon.
bow your head. Be sanctified.
Overruled.
With sword comes shadow. Incoming.
A little amuse-bouche.
Bow your head.
Goose on the loose.
Transfixed. Witness my rise. Overruled.
Off to the freezer.
Transfixed. This is where you fall. Late bear.
The tides beckon. An oversight. Settle down. Silence.
Nowhere to hide. Don't blink.
A burst of flavor. Show no fear.